The house looked warm from the outside, with yellow lights glowing through the windows and the sound of laughter leaking into the cold evening air. Emma stood near the front door for a moment, holding her daughter's small hand tightly, as if that simple touch could protect her from anything that might go wrong inside. She took a slow breath before stepping in. The living room was already full. Children ran across the carpet, their voices sharp and excited. Adults sat close together, talking loudly, smiling too much. Linda, Emma's mother-in-law, moved around the room like a queen hosting her court. She hugged some people longer than others, laughed at certain jokes, and gave quick nods to those she barely noticed. Emma watched all of this quietly. She had learned, over the years, to observe before she spoke. Her husband, Daniel, went ahead to greet his cousins, leaving Emma standing with Lily. Lily was 8 years old, with soft brown hair and eyes that always searched for approval. She wore her favorite blue sweater, the one she believed made her look grown up. She had been excited all day, asking questions, wondering why Grandma Linda had asked everyone to come over at once. "Mom," Lily whispered, tugging at Emma's sleeve, "is Grandma happy to see me?" Emma smiled, though her chest felt tight. "Of course she is," she said softly, brushing Lily's hair back. "She loves having everyone here." The words sounded right, but something in the air felt wrong. Emma noticed the way Linda greeted the other grandchildren. She bent down to their level, touched their faces, asked about school, praised them loudly so everyone could hear. When Lily stepped forward, her smile faded just a little. Linda said hello, but her voice was flat, her hug brief and stiff. Then she turned away, already focused on someone else. Lily stood there, frozen for a second, before slowly walking back to Emma. Emma felt it then. That familiar ache. The one she always tried to ignore. This was not the first time something like this had happened. There had been birthdays where Lily's gift felt rushed, school events Linda never attended, photos where Lily was asked to stand off to the side. Each moment was small on its own, easy to explain away. But together, they formed a quiet pattern Emma could no longer unsee. The room buzzed with excitement as Linda clapped her hands for attention. "Everyone, come sit down," she said, her voice cheerful and loud. "I have something special for the children." At once, the energy shifted. The kids gathered near the couch, their eyes wide, their bodies restless. Parents leaned forward, curious. Emma felt Lily's grip on her hand tighten. "What is it?" Lily asked, her voice trembling with hope. Emma swallowed. "Let's wait and see." Linda disappeared into the back room, and whispers filled the space she left behind. Someone joked about expensive surprises. Someone else laughed and said Linda always went big. Emma's heart began to race, though she didn't know why. A strange fear crept in, quiet but sharp. Linda returned, carrying several identical white boxes stacked in her arms. Even from a distance, Emma recognized them. The shape. The shine. The unmistakable symbol of something valuable. The children gasped. Some clapped. Others jumped to their feet. Lily's eyes sparkled. She smiled in a way Emma had not seen in a long time. Emma wanted to smile back, but her stomach twisted. She counted the boxes without meaning to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She counted the grandchildren. Her breath caught. Linda began calling names, one by one, handing out the boxes with pride. Each child took one, shouting thanks, tearing at the plastic, showing the others. Parents laughed and filmed with their phones. Emma stayed still. She felt frozen in her chair. Lily stood up when the last box was handed out, waiting. She glanced at Emma, then back at her grandmother. Her smile slowly faded, replaced by confusion. The room grew louder, yet Emma felt surrounded by silence. Her ears rang. Her thoughts raced. Linda started talking again, praising how happy the children looked, how family meant everything to her. Emma looked at Lily. Lily was still standing, empty-handed. And in that moment, before a single word was spoken, Emma knew. This gathering was never meant to be warm. It was meant to reveal something painful that had been hidden for far too long. Emma sat frozen on the edge of the couch, her eyes fixed on Lily, who was still standing in the middle of the room. Around them, Laughter bounced off the walls, sharp and careless. The other children were already opening their boxes, peeling away plastic, holding shiny phones up in the air like trophies. The sound of excitement filled the space, but for Emma, it felt distant, like noise coming from another world. Lily took a small step forward, then stopped. She looked at her grandmother again, waiting for her name to be called. Her hands were clasped together, her shoulders tense, as if she were afraid to move too much and miss her moment. Emma felt her heart pound harder with every second that passed. Linda avoided looking in Lily's direction. Instead, she focused on helping another child remove a cover from the phone screen. She laughed loudly, praised how smart and lucky the children were, and reminded them to thank her properly. Emma's fingers dug into her palms. She waited. Surely this was a mistake. Maybe Linda had one more box somewhere. Maybe she wanted to make Lily's gift special by giving it last. That thought was the only thing holding Emma together. Daniel returned to Emma's side, smiling at first, then slowly realizing something was wrong. He leaned closer and whispered, "What's going on?" Emma didn't answer. She couldn't. She just nodded toward Lily. Daniel followed her gaze. His smile faded. Lily finally spoke, her voice small but clear. "Grandma." The room quieted slightly. A few heads turned. "Yes," Linda replied, distracted. Lily swallowed. "Did you forget mine?" The question hung in the air, fragile and trembling. Emma held her breath. Linda looked at Lily, really looked at her, for the first time since the gifts were handed out. Her face changed, not with surprise, but with something colder. Something firm. "No," Linda said simply. The word hit Emma like a slap. Lily blinked. "But everyone else got one." Linda straightened up. "Not everything is for everyone," she said, her tone sharp but controlled. "You're still young. You don't need such expensive things." The room went silent. Emma felt heat rush to her face. Her ears burned. She wanted to stand up, to say something, anything. But her body refused to move. Other parents avoided eye contact. Some pretended to be busy with their children. A few looked uncomfortable, but no one spoke. Lily's eyes filled with tears she tried hard not to let fall. She nodded slowly, as if accepting something she did not understand. "Oh," she whispered. Emma stood up then. Her legs shook, but she didn't care. She walked to Lily and placed a hand on her shoulder. "She didn't do anything wrong," Emma said, her voice trembling despite her effort to stay calm. "If you had a reason, you could have spoken to us privately." Linda's lips pressed together. "This is my house," she replied. "I can decide how I spend my money." Emma opened her mouth, but Daniel touched her arm gently, warning her without words. "Not here. Not now." Emma looked at her daughter again. Lily's face had gone pale. She stared at the floor, her shoulders slumped, as if she were trying to disappear. That sight broke something inside Emma. She pulled Lily into her arms. "It's okay," Emma whispered, though she didn't believe it herself. "You're okay." But Lily didn't respond. She just stood there, stiff and silent. The rest of the gathering continued, awkwardly stitched back together. Linda resumed talking. The children returned to their excitement. Music played softly in the background. Life moved on, as if nothing important had happened. But Emma felt like the ground beneath her had cracked open. She watched Lily sit alone on a chair near the wall, watching her cousins laugh and take pictures with their new phones. No one invited her to join. No one noticed she was missing from the joy. Emma remembered every time she had told herself she was imagining things. Every time she had excused Linda's behavior. Every time she had stayed quiet to keep peace. Now the truth was clear, bright and painful. This was not about a phone. This was about being chosen. And Lily had not been. Emma wrapped an arm around her daughter and stared straight ahead, her jaw tight. Inside her chest, anger and sadness tangled together, heavy and sharp. She knew this moment would stay with Lily forever. And she knew she would never forget it either. The drive home was quiet, too quiet. The road lights passed one by one, casting soft shadows inside the car. Lily sat in the back seat, her head turned toward the window, her forehead resting against the glass. She did not cry. That worried Emma more than tears ever could. Emma watched her through the mirror again and again. Every time Lily blinked, Emma felt a sharp pull in her chest. At home, Lily went straight to her room without saying a word. She did not ask for dinner. She did not change her clothes. She just sat on her bed, hugging her knees, staring at the wall. Emma followed slowly and sat beside her. "Do you want to talk?" Emma asked gently. Lily shook her head. Emma nodded and stayed quiet, though her heart screamed. She knew that silence like this was heavy. It was the kind that sinks deep and stays there. Later that night, after Lily finally fell asleep, Emma sat at the kitchen table with her hands wrapped around a cold cup of tea. Daniel sat across from her, his face tired and tense. "I didn't think she would do it like that," he said softly. Emma looked at him. "You knew," she replied. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were burning. "You've seen it before." Daniel sighed and rubbed his face. "I knew she treated Lily differently. I just didn't think she would humiliate her in front of everyone." Emma swallowed hard. "That's what hurts the most," she said. "Not the phone. Not the money. It's the way Lily stood there, waiting, believing she mattered." Daniel stayed silent. Emma's thoughts raced back through the years. The missed birthdays. The quick hugs. The way Linda praised the other grandchildren but rarely said Lily's name. At the time, Emma had told herself she was overthinking. Now she felt foolish for ignoring the signs. "She's starting to notice," Emma said quietly. "And once a child notices something like this, it changes how they see themselves." Daniel nodded slowly. "I know." The next morning, Lily moved through the house like a shadow. She ate very little. She didn't ask for her tablet or cartoons. When Emma asked if she wanted to visit a friend, Lily shook her head. "Did I do something wrong?" Lily asked suddenly, her voice barely above a whisper. Emma felt her chest tighten. She knelt in front of her daughter and held her face gently. "No," she said firmly. "You did nothing wrong. Nothing at all." Lily looked down. "Then why doesn't Grandma like me?" Emma struggled to find words that wouldn't hurt. She took a slow breath. "Sometimes," she said carefully, "adults have problems inside them. And they don't always know how to be kind. That has nothing to do with you." Lily nodded, but Emma could tell the answer did not comfort her. The doubt had already planted itself. That afternoon, Emma received a message from Linda. It was short and cold. "You embarrassed me yesterday. You should have handled it better." Emma stared at the screen, her hands shaking. Handled it better. She thought of Lily's small voice. Her empty hands. Her lowered head. Emma typed a response, then deleted it. She typed again, then stopped. No words felt strong enough. She realized something then, slowly and painfully. Linda did not feel sorry. She did not see the harm. And if Emma stayed silent now, nothing would ever change. That night, Emma lay awake beside Daniel, staring at the ceiling. She listened to Lily's soft breathing from the next room and felt a deep ache settle in her bones. This was no longer about one moment. It was about protecting her daughter's heart before it learned to break quietly. And Emma knew that soon, she would have to make a choice. The next weekend, Emma found herself standing in front of Linda's house again. The same house that now felt cold, even before she stepped inside. She had not planned to come alone, but Daniel had insisted on staying home with Lily. He said it was better this way. Emma agreed, though her hands trembled as she rang the doorbell. Linda opened the door with a tight smile. "I was wondering when you'd come," she said, stepping aside. The living room was quiet, too clean, as if nothing emotional had ever happened there. Linda sat down across from Emma, folding her hands neatly in her lap. "So," Linda said, "what is this about?" Emma took a deep breath. "It's about Lily." Linda sighed, already annoyed. "I told you, she's too young for such things. You're making a big deal out of nothing." Emma felt a slow burn rise inside her. It wasn't nothing to her, she said calmly. She waited. She believed she mattered. Linda leaned back. "Children need to learn life isn't fair." Emma looked at her, really looked at her. There's a difference between life being unfair and a grandmother choosing one child over another. Linda's eyes narrowed. You're accusing me now? I'm telling you the truth, Emma replied. You've treated Lily differently for years. This was just the first time you did it in front of everyone. For a moment, Linda said nothing. Then she laughed softly. You're too sensitive. Lily isn't even my blood the same way the others are. The words landed hard. Emma felt her chest tighten, but she stayed steady. She is my daughter, she said. And she is Daniel's child. That should be enough. Linda waved her hand. I have the right to feel how I feel. Emma stood up slowly. And I have the right to protect my child. Linda looked surprised. Are you threatening me? No, Emma said quietly. I'm setting a boundary. She explained that Lily would not be coming over anymore unless she was treated with the same care and respect as the other grandchildren. No favoritism. No quiet cruelty. No excuses. Linda's face hardened. You're tearing this family apart. Emma shook her head. You already did. I'm just refusing to pretend anymore. As Emma walked out, her legs felt weak, but her heart felt clear. She knew this conversation would change everything. She knew Linda might never accept it. But for the first time since that night, Emma felt like she had chosen her daughter over fear. And that choice mattered more than keeping peace with someone who never cared about Lily's heart. Life became quieter after that conversation. No more sudden invitations. No more short messages from Linda pretending nothing had happened. The silence felt strange at first, almost heavy, but Emma slowly realized it also felt safer. Lily noticed the change. Are we going to Grandma's again? She asked one evening while Emma tucked her into bed. Emma paused for a moment, then sat beside her. Not for a while, she said gently. Lily nodded, her face calm in a way that surprised Emma. That's okay, she said. I don't like feeling invisible. Those words stayed with Emma long after Lily fell asleep. Emma focused on rebuilding what had been hurt. She spent more time with Lily, listening closely, noticing the small things. They baked together, took walks, talked before bed. Emma praised Lily often, not in loud ways, but in honest ones. She wanted her daughter to feel seen, not because of gifts, but because of who she was. Still, some nights were hard. Emma would find Lily staring at her cousin's photos online, smiling with their new phones. Lily never complained, but Emma could see the questions in her eyes. She would sit beside her and hold her hand until the thoughts passed. Daniel struggled too. He carried guilt quietly, knowing he had ignored the signs for too long. One night, he told Emma, I should have protected her sooner. Emma placed her hand over his. We're doing it now, she said. Linda eventually reached out. Her message was short and careful. I miss my family. Emma read it slowly. There was no apology. No mention of Lily. Just a need to feel less alone. Emma did not reply right away. She thought about the cost of reopening that door. She thought about Lily's small voice asking if she had done something wrong. She thought about how easy it would be to slip back into silence. Instead, Emma replied with honesty. We can talk when Lily is treated equally and with kindness. Until then, our distance is necessary. The response never came. Weeks passed, and something inside Lily began to heal. She laughed more freely. She spoke with confidence. She stopped asking why she wasn't chosen. Emma watched her daughter grow lighter, and with that, Emma felt stronger. She understood now that love sometimes meant saying no. That protecting a child did not always look gentle, but it was always necessary. And even though the pain had not disappeared, it no longer controlled their lives. They were building something better. Quietly. Carefully. Together. Time moved on, the way it always does, slow and steady, even after moments that feel too heavy to carry. Seasons changed. Lily grew taller. Her laughter returned, softer at first, then stronger, filling the house again. Emma often thought about that night at Linda's house. Not with anger anymore, but with clarity. It had been a turning point, one she never asked for, yet one that reshaped her completely. One evening, Emma watched Lily sitting at the kitchen table, drawing carefully with colored pencils. Lily looked up and smiled, proud of her work. "Do you like it?" she asked. Emma leaned closer. "I love it," she said honestly. Lily hesitated, then asked, "Mom, am I enough?" The question felt like a quiet echo from the past. Emma knelt beside her and looked straight into her eyes. "You have always been enough," she said. "You never needed to earn love. Anyone who made you feel otherwise was wrong." Lily nodded slowly, as if storing those words somewhere deep inside. Later that night, after Lily went to bed, Emma sat alone in the living room. She thought about family, about how people often confuse blood with love, and silence with peace. She realized that protecting her daughter had cost her comfort, approval, and part of the family she once hoped Lily would have. But it had also given her something far greater. It gave Lily safety. Linda never truly apologized. There were no long messages, no tears, no effort to understand. Emma accepted that truth with quiet strength. Not every story ends with closure. Some end with distance, and that distance becomes the healing. Emma no longer explained herself to others. When relatives asked why they rarely visited, she simply said, "My child comes first." And for the first time, those words felt complete. One afternoon, Lily came home from school glowing with excitement. She had won a small award for kindness. She talked non-stop, her eyes shining, her confidence natural and real. Emma listened, her heart full. In that moment, she understood something deeply. Lily did not need gifts to feel valuable. She needed protection, honesty, and love that did not change based on favor. As Emma tucked Lily into bed that night, Lily wrapped her arms around her and whispered, "Thank you for choosing me." Emma closed her eyes, holding her tight. She knew she would make many mistakes as a mother. She knew life would not always be fair or gentle. But she also knew this one thing with certainty. No one would ever make her daughter feel invisible again. And that promise, made quietly in the dark, was worth more than any gift in the world.